If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So good morning all. I am Sekhar. So I'll be a trainer for SD trainer for this training program. So today we'll have the introduction class. First I'll introduce. We can introduce ourselves to each one of you, each one of us, and also I will see the introduction class today, like what is the introduction to ERP and SAP, SD, and S/4HANA introduction. We can see today. So first we'll have the introduction session. So we can introduce ourselves to each one. So first I'll introduce myself. My name is Sekhar. So I'm working as a SAP trainer as a consultant for more than 10 years. So I'll be taking this training program for you. So you can introduce yourself one by one, like what's your name and what you're currently doing and what you're expecting this training program. And this training will be on like for so every day it will be 9 to 12 in the morning. And in between, we have a break, like around 10:30, we have a 15-minute break. And so you'll have access to your server. You can practice during the session. We can first we'll take the theory part, showing the system. Then after that, you can practice. So I'll guide you in the practice session also. So it'll be you can ask your questions, doubts, and all during the practice sessions. If any issues there and errors are there, we'll try to solve that one. So like this whole program we can maintain like that. So we have daily session as well as practice session during the class timings. So okay, so we'll start the session now. So already you are into SAP SD model with all the functionality. So I think we need not start with what is ERP and all. So you can start there. So just I'll go through one slide, like what is ERP and what is the advantage.
Shekhar, your voice is not clear, Shekhar. You have to replace your mic or something, or you have to come in network, I think.
Yeah, one second. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. So for today's class, just will go through that one slide. So I think need not explain more about what is ERP and all. Just will go through some points. If you're not aware of that, just you can get some ideas in that. After that, you can continue with the introduction to SD model, and you can introduction to S/4HANA topics also. So I think you already know about what is ERP. So ERP basically is the enterprise resource planning, and SAP is one of the ERP package. And if you go for what is ERP, if you want to know what is ERP, so basically you can explain what is ERP, enterprise resource planning. So you can discuss, you can explain detail each of the term in the ERP. So what is the enterprise? So enterprise can be a company or a group of companies. So you are already aware of that. So like if you take Reliance and all, they are a group of companies. So enterprise can be a single company or it can be a group of companies. Okay, so already know that. I think just will go through that. If anything is more, you can get more idea in that. So enterprise can be a company or a group of companies. So any company, the process will be these are. If it's a manufacturing company, so the process can be like this one. So there can be manufacturing process or fabrication or drilling or extruding. So many processes can be happen in a factory or in a plant environment. So for this process, we need some input. Like we need some materials. So just to go through this concept. So we need some raw materials or materials. We need money. We need materials. We need machines. And we need people. That's a men or manpower we need. We need some time management. We want to know we should have some info. So these are the input. These are inputs: material, money, machine, men, time, info. These are input, and it's a process. And so so when you do the process, the output can be the finished goods, and the finished good will go to supplier, customer, master, customer, and from the customer will get the payment. So this is a process happening in any industry. Any industry, if you take a for example, take a manufacturing industry, these are the process. There's another process, another type of industries, retail is there, or some other project, retail or mobility. So some other process also there. If you take the manufacturing process, for example, this is a process happening in any industry or any business. So the ERP basically helps you to streamline this whole process, streamline or make automation or make the process more efficient. We need the ERP packages to do the process in better way, and to automate the whole process without any manual intervention. We need the ERP packages. That's a concept of the ERP, enterprise resource planning. Okay, because so when you do this, when you see this process, here itself we can see different departments involved. For example, when you buy the item from the suppliers, for materials will be raw material. For example, take raw material, it will be supplied by the suppliers. It will be supplied by the suppliers. Okay, so here the purchase model is there. So when you buy the item from the suppliers, purchase model comes in picture. And when you sell the item to customers, here the sales process coming here. And get the money. So get the money from the customer, the finance model come into picture here, finance. So like that, for purchasing, here also we need the finance model to make the payment to the suppliers. So here, then when you produce items or manufacture items, it will come to the store. It will come to the inventory. It will come to the inventory model, inventory or store. Okay, so in this process only we are seeing different departments. We have the purchase department, finance department, in a store, and the sales and finance again. So basically ERP helps to integrate all these modules. We can call this department as a modules or different functionalities. Basically ERP helps to integrate all these functionalities. So there will be a common database where you can store all the information about different departments, or you can do the activities in the different departments. So that's the purpose of the ERP. The purpose of ERP is to integrate all the departments or different functionalities in the business system. Okay, this is the concept of the ERP. Okay, so anybody have any question in this one, or any more idea you can give that? And so anybody has any questions in this one? So this one just introduction to ERP. So what's ERP? Why you need the ERP? This is a concept here. So any questions you can ask?
No, Shekhar.
Okay. Okay. So now just go through the slides. So we'll see what some more points about ERP, what's advantage, and after we'll go for introduction to SAP, and after that we'll go for S/4HANA introduction. So it's a introduction to ERP. So this is enterprise resource planning. I'll just go through the slides. You need not much explanation because already you are into SAP SD module. So just I'll go through some slides. So what actual information you are getting, you can grasp that. So already know, say ERP, enterprise resource planning. So basically, why you need the ERP? To manage the data of the enterprise. So already you know what is data. So when you have the customer's data, we have the data inside the customer's data. If you are going to metal mass data, there are details about metal in the metal mass data. So these are the data, so metal mass data or customer mass data. So these are the topics planned for this session for the training program. These are topics involved. We got to concentrate on these topics. So before starting with this, all the topics will go for the regular SAP like SD model, like making the structure, making the sales process. Then we go to each of these topics in detail. Okay, so major topics. These are major topics. So introduction to S/4HANA and what's the architecture for the S/4HANA. And after we'll go for introduction to SAP SD model, SAP S/4HANA SD model. We'll go through the initial process, making the regular transaction SAP SD model in S/4HANA. First go through the one session, we'll go through that. And we'll go through the S/4HANA navigation. What is the additional things from ECC in the S/4HANA? And we'll go to Fiori introduction. Fiori, the web browser. We'll go to the Fiori introduction. Whatever you are doing in the SAP ECC or GUI, how we can do the same thing in Fiori app through Fiori app web browser. And we can go through all the transfers, whatever transfers we are doing in the SAP, the GUI screen, we can go through the Fiori app. And we got business partner master data in S/4HANA. It's totally different from the ECC business partner. It's totally different S/4HANA. We'll go through that particular topic, how to configure everything. And BRF plus, this is for the output configuration. So in the S/4HANA, the output configuration replaced by BRF, business rule framework, and table changes from ECC and the S/4HANA table changes. So there are some major changes in SD model tables, and AATP, advanced availability promise, and backorder processing. That's one more topic, AATP and BOP, and credit management with FSCM, for supply chain management. And that's a new configuration for credit management in S/4HANA, and advanced variant configuration, the classification module, that characteristic and creating that one. There's advanced variant configuration, settlement for the rebate management. So the old rebate management replaced in S/4HANA with settlement management, and ARM, advanced return management. So it is different from the ECC return management. So it is basically a new topic, advanced return management with S/4HANA. And this also related to that only, accelerated return process, that also related to the ARM, advanced return management, and batch management. There are some changes in the batch management in the S/4HANA from ECC. And we have a new project methodology. So that's a new methodology in the S/4HANA project implementation. So these are topics planned for your whole training program. For this whole training program, these are topics planned. Okay. So today I started introduction. Today, just we are giving introduction. I just go through what is ERP, what are the advantages of ERP. We'll go to the SAP history, and then from tomorrow we'll go to the different topics like S/4HANA in full detail, and we will cover all these topics. So are you comfortable, everybody?
Yes, Shekhar.
Yes, Shekhar.
Yes, Shekhar.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So once you get the link to the LMS, you can go to material center. So these are materials that we're handling. But today's session is not in the PPT. These are session PPTs. But today's session is not there in here. And I will check with them and try to add to the materials here. Okay. So I'll continue with this presentation. So it is okay. So this is some additional knowledge I'm giving to you in the ERP, what's ERP and all. So basically ERP helps to store data in the enterprise. So in the enterprise, you want to store the data, want to store the data, you can use the ERP system. So different departments like purchasing or receiving the inventory, customer management, sales process or sales department. So basically, ERP helps to integrate all these departments. ERP helps to integrate all these different departments like receiving the purchasing, inventory, customer, production planning, shipping, accounting. So all things are integrated with the SAP system or ERP system. SAP will go refer later. So generally we take ERP. This is a process happening. Basically, it is used to integrate all the departments. So as I said, these are the input process and the resources and output. So in the if you take ERP, these are resources in any business. These are resources, raw material, machine, money, and that. These are process happening in any industry. For example, particularly if you take manufacturing industry, this is a process, and output to finished goods and payment from the customer. So to make this process whole process more effective for the customer or client, we need ERP packages. Okay, and so what is the advantage of ERP? What's the advantage of ERP? So we have the cost reduction. We have the cost saving. So using the ERP, you can save the money because for example, so if you are given the ERP software, you need only one license. So before ERP was there, what happened? For each department, each module or each department, they were using the different software. For example, finance, they need a Oracle, or HR means PeopleSoft. Like that, they were using different software for the different departments or different modules. So in that case, what are the disadvantage was you got to pay the license fee for each software. If you are having the different software for each department, you have to pay the license fee for each software separately, and that will increase the cost of the software. But in ERP software, we need only one license. You need only one license for all the modules. Also, the customer can select which module they want to implement the ERP. They can select. So basically, that reduces the cost of your whole software application. That's one advantage of ERP. Cost saving is one advantage. Then standardization of software. So it's basically it is used to streamline or integrate all the departments or each process in the whole business. So that reduces the ERP software because they are in the single database are maintaining all the data or all the process. So that reduces for example, if there's no ERP, there will be total confusion. There will be total confusion in the data transfer. So in the data transfer, there will be total confusion because there will be no integration between different departments. So one person in the purchase department will not know how many items are needed for the production process, how much should be purchased for the production process. So there will be some information gap. So that will reduce to chaotic data transfer, time-consuming process, and security gaps. So basically, the ERP helps to take out all these disadvantages and make it an efficient process in the whole business. So it's basically standardization of software using the ERP. And improved efficiency. So once you have the ERP, already you know that because when you see the SAP software, so we are reducing the repetitive task. For example, so once you want to use the material in the sales process, we have the material master data. So material master data will include all the data for materials. So that will eliminate the repetitive task. So it will remove the repetitive task. So every time you need not fill the material details. Once you make the material master data, when you use the sales order or any sales document, so all the details will be taken from the material master data immediately. So need not have the details of material again and again. Once you drag the material into the sales order, it will take all the details of material from the material master data. Like the customer master data. Once you make the customer master data, you need not get the customer details again and again. You make only one master data that will be used in all the sales process. So basically, it reduces the repetitive task. So in the what helps that? So once you do that, when you eliminate the repetitive task, so it improves the productivity because the employees are now able to spend more time on the decision taking. Because the process is very simple now, so they can just make the transaction. They have more time to put effort on the improvement of the business, or they can have more decision making. So that's one more advantage. The regulatory compliance. So whenever the new government rules or any business rules are coming, the ERP helps to adhere to the government rules. For example, when the GST came, immediately all the ERP companies, they took care of the GST process, and now people are able to do the process through the GST also. Like that, every time whenever the new finance rules or government rules are coming, ERP will help to comply to that rules and regulations. And faster response time. So, for example, take the service department or service process. So once you make the sales order to the customers, when they come back with a repair or any malfunction, so ERP helps to go through that service module. They can the person who is handling the service module, they'll be able to go through the sales order, who made a sales order, from where it was produced, everything they can come to know. So it'll be easy for them to help the service process for the customer. So that's one more fast that we can call as faster response time. For example, I told the service model like that. For every department, through the ERP, they can get response time faster from other departments. So that's one more thing. And mobility and flexibility. So nowadays we are got BA bring their own device. So in that case, ERP, for example, if you take SAP also, now we have they can be installed in any mobile or any laptop or any tab. So you can get access to ERP from any device, any gadget. So that's one more thing about the ERP software, mobility and flexibility. So they can be accessed from anywhere. So it's the same thing. These are the results. And some more advantages, so same thing, reduce cost. So ERP helps to reduce the cost of the whole business. And data reliability, because we can rely on the system software. So data reliability, you can always rely on the data from the ERP system, whether it's a master data or any the transaction, we can get the data reliability. Real-time data and enhanced reporting. So from the ERP, we can get a real-time data anytime. So at any point of second, at any point of time, we can get a report from the SAP, SAP or ERP. If we get any point of time, we can get any report from the ERP, like how many products purchased are created today, or how many sales are created today. Everything gets through the real-time data from the ERP system. And flexible scalability. That means like so the customer can select, he need not buy all the modules from the ERP system. For example, if SAP, if you take SAP, the customer need not buy all the modules. They can select which module they want for their current business. So flexible scalability. Customers can select their own what model they want, they can sell from the ERP system. Increase efficiency. So that's again because it reduces the repetitive task. The employees get more time to concentrate on the other side of business. They can take decisions based on the time they get. So increase efficiency. Data security. So always you can rely on the ERP software, ERP data. So customer service. So one more example, customer service. So once the item and the sales order comes back for the return or any repair process, the customer service can be well maintained in the ERP software. So if you take what are some of the ERP softwares other than SAP? So there's some of the other software like Tally, Bond. So but Tally is a small ERP software. Bond, Oracle, JD. This and all some of the softwares in the market, ERP market. So SAP was one of the ERP software. So out of all these products, SAP is having in the market share of more than 50%. So they are the market leader. So out of all these ERP software, SAP is having more than 50% market share in the ERP market. Okay. So this is some of the ERPs. So there's some more points about the ERP software. So this is the system data. The data is the ERP used by different departments. So that's other who are handling the business. They need not enter details again and again, like in the masters. They need not repeat that transaction again and again. So that's one thing about the ERP. So some example given there. So when I share this slide later, you can go through this one. Some more information you can get here. And the ERP can be called real database management. So ERP can be called a real database management. So I'm audible, everybody? Are you able to?
Yes, Shekhar.
Okay, fine. Okay. So ERP can be called real database management, RDBM, because our data is available on actually any point of time. Any point of time, we get the details about the data. So that's a real database management. So you can have the past data also. So we want some data from the 5 years before. You can get the data from the past data from the ERP software. Through influence system. Influence system is basically reporting system. Through the reporting system, you can get all the past data also. And we can maintain different vendors, different products for different customers or different vendors. So we can maintain prices of the different customer or different vendor for the same item. So that we can decide about the selling price. So based on the other suppliers, other customers, we can have the different prices, so that we can make a competitive price from the other customers. And we can always keep a record of competitive price and products. So your competitors, sales competitors, you can maintain the price of the other competitors, so that you can plan about your own sales price. And old data is available. So you can get all these old records, so you can convert with the present data. Old data is available, and we can convert with the recent present data. And we can get it from the influence system. This again is a reporting system. We can get all the reports, drill-down reports. So you can even you can get a minute detail from the ERP system. And each module is a beautiful influence system. That's a reporting system. And all the modules like purchasing, inventory, sales, production, all these modules can be handled in the ERP software. And okay, this so you can go to later. So now we'll go for the SAP introduction. I'll go for SAP introduction. So SAP means systems, application, processing, data processing. So that's a full form of SAP, systems, application, and processing, data processing. So SAP is not only a software, it's a company. Company name is also SAP, and their software is also SAP. Name is SAP. Okay. So as I already told, they are having the market share of more than 50%. So why it is in the here in the market? Why are they in the market leader? Because over the years, so they started in 1972. So SAP started in 1972. So now they have grown such a way that so almost 50 years are over now. 72 means almost 50 years are over now. So they have a long history. So because of a long history, they know each and every part of business. So they are able to develop their own software into different levels. So they are always welcome to new technology development. So according to any recent technology development, they are able to put into SAP software. For example, we have the cloud management. The data can be maintained in cloud, and we have the web browser Fiori app. So like that, according to every new advancement in information technology, they are able to use it for SAP model. So SAP software. That's why they are in high demand. So always they are competitive with the recent development in the technology. They are able to take the technology into their software. That's why SAP in great demand. So this you can skip down. So now we will go for the history of SAP. So I'll go to history of SAP. So SAP started in 1972. SAP started in 1972 by some 5 former IBM employees. These are the 5 former IBM employees. They quit their job in 1972 and they started SAP software. They are working at IBM employees. They quit their IBM jobs and started SAP in 1972. They started as a finance product, small finance. They started SAP as a small finance product. Okay, this that was called R1. So now we can see the growth of SAP here. They started R1. So I'll explain what is R1 and all. It started in 1972 as a R1 product. Basically it was a small finance product. And in 1982 they started R2 structure. So I'll explain what is R1, R2 and all. So R2 in 1982 it was started SAP R2. And 1992 they started R3 and they later called ECC. They started R3, then they later called ECC. And after we are in now S4HANA. Okay, this is the growth of SAP. R1 in 1972, R2 in 1982, and R3 in ECC and R3 from 1992, and we started S4HANA in 2015. Okay, this is the growth of the SAP throughout the years. So will explain what is R1, R2, and R3. Okay, so anybody have an idea what is this R1, R2, R3? Any idea? Anybody have any idea? So R1, R2, R3. So throughout the years, they started R1 and they went to R3. Now we are S4HANA. So anybody have any idea what is this R1, R2, R3 means?
These were the versions, right? Starting versions of SAP.
You can call it a version, but you can call it as a structure. You can call it interface. You can call it as a software structure. Yeah, you can see the version also, but version is different. Version is like see in R2 we get different versions, 6.0, 4.0, like that we got different versions. Yeah. But basically, but this is actually a structure of the whole product, whole SAP. So this basically architecture, basically R1 is architecture, basically a maintenance architecture, mainframe architecture. So R1 R2 is a structure, it's basically structure. So just to explain what is R1 R3. So as I already told, so we started 1972 as started in 1972 as R1, then into R2 and R3. So basically it's architecture. The R1 R2 is not a version, it's an architecture of a SAP system. So what is R1 R2? I'll just explain what is R1 R2 R3. So R1 denotes so R1 means real time one tire or layer. You can call it wood tire or you can call it layer. One tire or you can call it layer. R1 real time one tire, or real time 2 tire, real time 3 tire. Okay, so this is a structure started in SAP in R1, then went on to R3, and now we are in S4HANA. So we'll define what is R1. What this R1 means. So if you take any software, any system, there will be 3 layers. The layers you can call it tier or layer. So there will be 3 layers. One is the presentation layer. One is presentation layer. Presentation layer. Then we have the application layer. And we have the database layer. We have one more layer is database layer. Database layer. Database layer. Okay. So these are 3. If you take any software system, there are 3 layers will be there: presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. So presentation layer means, so in the system, I am seeing my laptop. You are seeing your laptop or mobile. What screen we are seeing in the laptop? The screen is called presentation layer. You can call us a GUI. You can call us GUI, or you can call us graphical user interface. Full form is graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. User interface. So basically, sorry, it's okay, fine. So this here. So presentation layer means GUI, graphical user interface. What you are seeing in the laptop or mobile, the screen is called presentation layer, where you can see your screen. It's a presentation layer. So application layers are different applications. For example, making the masters or sales order, or delivery, sales delivery, or billing. So all things are transactions. These are transactions. So the presentation layer is having the GUI, and application layer will contain the transactions. This is application layer. You have different transactional purchase order, or sales order, delivery, or good receipt. You have this application layer. And database layer are kept to store data. So data are stored in database layer. So now, if you take R1, in the R1 structure, in the R1, one second, just will copy some again. So in the R1 structure, what happened? So all these 3 layers, they were separate layers. All 3 were they were integrated into one layer. So all these 3 layers were integrated into one layer. So there was only one tier or one layer that contains all the 3 layers. So together they were one layer. Okay, so there are only one layer that contains all the 3 integrated into one layer. All the 3 layers integrated into one layer. In R2, in the R2 structure, they made these 2 as a single layer. These 2 are single layer, together as one layer, and data layer separate. In R2, these 2 are linked into one layer, and data layer are separate. In R3, all 3 were separate. All 3 were separate layers. So what is the meaning of this one is, so in R1 we are having same one layer was containing all the 3 layers. So the data was so that they were able to store only less data, because they were into one layer. They were able to store only less data. So the R1 was very limited to little data. They are not carrying so many data. We can maintain only small data. In R2, they made this a separate layer, this a separate layer. 2 layers they got now. So now the capacity was more now. Compared to R1, the R2 was able to store more data because they got 2 layers. But in R3, we have all the 3 layers separately. So that's why the SAP was able to store more heavy data using the R3 system. So you can see the example. If you go for your system configuration, so if you are getting different layers, if you are getting different drives in a system, you are getting different more drives here, you will be able to store more data. So that's the concept here. So you are getting more different layers. We are able to store many data in the other 3 layers. That's the concept of the R3. So this is a major difference between R1, R2, and R3. Okay, so it's a growth of SAP through the years, R1, R2, and R3. Later, after that, we went for S4HANA. So now we'll explain what is some details about versions again. So when we went to R3, in the R3 also they went to different versions. There are some. So initially they were called R3, and later they called ECC. The R3 later they called ECC system. ECC means Enterprise Central Component. ECC means Enterprise Central Component. Enterprise Central Component. That's the full form of ECC. Central Component. Full form of ECC. Enterprise Central Component. So later they called R3 as a ECC system. Okay, so these are throughout the years. So it was in 1972, it was in 1972 R1, and in 1982 R2. This was in 1982. And after that, ECC in 1992. R3 in 1992. Okay. So now we are in S4. Now we are in S4. Now we are in S4 HANA. Now we are using S4 HANA. So now some more concept about this one. So what is the difference between S4 HANA and ECC? So ECC was the earliest one, earlier one. Now we are in S4 HANA. So what's the difference between R3 and S4 HANA? So so now we'll see what is S4 HANA. So basically, 1992 they start R3, and all through the years, from 1992 till 2011 in the current 2011 year. So the ECC was having 3 database management system. They stored the data till 2011. They're using Oracle or SQL. MS SQL. They were MS SQL, Microsoft SQL or Oracle till 2011. So SAP getting own software for ERP, but the data are stored in Oracle and MS SQL. The data in SAP were stored in Oracle database or SQL database. So they are competition for SAP, Oracle and SQL, but SAP was storing the data in the Oracle or SQL software, SQL database management system. They are not having their own database till 2011. In 2011, they introduced HANA database, not S4 HANA, HANA database. When they introduced HANA database in 2011. Okay, 2011 they started introduce HANA database. But customers, clients are having option to take any of the database management. So they can use Oracle or SQL, or additionally they can have a HANA database. So customers were free to select any of the database. Still in 2011, they introduced HANA database, but the customers are able to use any of the database management. But in 2015, they introduced S4 HANA. 2015, they introduced S4 HANA. Introduced S4 HANA. They introduced 2015. So in S4 HANA, you can use only HANA database. SQL and Oracle cannot be used for S4 HANA now. So from 2015, they are using only HANA database for S4 HANA. So for S4 HANA, we can't have Oracle or SQL. We can use only HANA database. But this is the growth of SAP throughout the years. And customers who are still using the old Oracle SQL, they have to turn into SAP S4 HANA by HANA database by 2025. By 2025, all the customers should use HANA database only. They cannot use Oracle or SQL in their business. They can use only HANA database from 2025. This is a SAP target. From 25, they can use only HANA database. Okay. So these are some of the things about the SAP history. This is SAP history. So are you able to follow this one? Are you able to understand my language? Are you able to follow everybody?
Yeah, Shikhar.
Okay, fine. So this is history of SAP throughout the years. So some more slides. So if you take SAP, there are some implementation tools are there. So for the speedy or efficient execution of project, we need some tools from SAP. So this when you buy SAP for the client, it will contain the implementation tool also. So one is the project estimator. One tool is project estimator. So actually in the S4 HANA something has changed. Later I'll go through that changes. It's a old PPT. So just go through that. I'll add some more things in the coming classes. So one is the project estimator. So project estimator. So using the project estimator, once you want to implement SAP in a company or in a client place, the SAP helps you with the project estimator. So using the project estimator, you can find out in your customer place, in the client place, what are their resources, how to calculate the resources, the cost, and the time frame for SAP implementation. The project estimator helps in that. So to decide about the timing, price, and all, the project estimator can help you. How to requirement, everything can be done with project estimator. So it will help to see the project scope and what are risk factors, everything, and consider using the project estimator. This is a tool from SAP system, SAP software. Then concept check tool. This also is for the basically for the infrastructure calculation. So what are the present infrastructure? What improvements should be done? That's a concept check tool you can use for the implementation. And one of the implementation assistant throughout the SAP. Actually, this is a old application, old implementation methodology. So now we are giving accelerated. So you can see that now we have the now we are using this one activity methodology, active project methodology. It's a new methodology. Now we are using S/4HANA. Earlier it was using this one. We are really using implementation SAP implementation assistant that helps in the accelerated SAP implementation. So this is some of the tools from the SAP software for the efficient implementation. So this already knows what's the process of the consultant. So basically, you can the responsibility of the SAP consultant is to so different examples are given like credit management. So if you are a if you are a consultant, finance or ST consultant, you got to manage the credit management for the customers. And you had developed the user manuals and technical guides for the end users. And we had to decide about the infrastructure of the customer, and I had to recommend to them to make the implementation more effective or more efficient. And so we got to, for if you take SAP consultant, SD consultant, we got to process the whole order to cash process, like inventory quotation, billing, and all. We had to manage. We had to design for the end user from the client side. So some of the consultant, developer consultant, so already know that. So we have the developer consultant. If you know the above programming, you can call us a developer consultant, and you can call us basis consultant, functional consultant. So like that, some more consultant, partner roles. There's a different consultant role, like developer consultant. If you know the above programming, you can be a developer consultant and business sales consultant. You can once you become a consultant, you can become a business consultant, like taking orders for the customers. For suppose you are employed with TCS. So you can be a business consultant to get more customers for the SAP implementations. And functional consultant, ST consultant, MM or PP consultant, functional consultant. And if you know the basis, you can become a basis consultant. So there are different types of projects in SAP. First, the implementation project. So normally what you are doing the implementation, that's the implementation methodology project. So basically you have to make the system for the client into SAP. So implementation project. So the process will be happening like when the customer, there's a big business customer is there. So he wants to implement SAP. So he'll go to the different partners like IBM or TCS. They'll go to different partners. They'll tell the partner to implement SAP. The process will happen through the implementation project. That's the first. For the main project. Main project is implementation project, making the implementation in a new customer place. And once you finish the implementation, you get our support project. So another type of support project is support project. Once you finish the implementation and we are ready to go live, from the go live process, we got to enter an agreement with the customer for the support. So when are getting they have to pay the AMC, and they have to partner has to support the client always throughout the whole process. And the rollout project. So rollout project means like when you implement SAP in a company in India, and there is a different requirement for one of the state factory. There are separate requirements that is not mapped in SAP. So the partner side consultant can go do some research, and they can come with a new solution. So for example, in India, there's a finance finance rule is there, accounting rules have come, terms and rules have come. So SAP is not able to meet that demand. So the customer consultant do your research and come up with a new solution for that particular gap. So in that case, if it is successful, that solution is successful, so SAP can implement the same thing in other customers also, in other countries also. That's a rollout project. So when the customer, the client side consultant or SAP lab consultant come up with a new solution, if it is successful, they can implement other project also. That's a rollout project. Then upgradation project. So that's for example, in ECC, we take ECC, there are different versions for that. It started with the 4.0, so new version 4.0, then they went to 4.2 and all they went 4.2, then 5.0. Like there's so many versions for that. So every time when you issue a new version, that's a separate project. That's an upgradation project. So whenever you want, the SAP gives a new version for your SAP software, then you have to do the upgradation project. So separate process there for upgradation to upgrade version from lower version to higher version. An expansion project. So for example, you are having your client having factories in different states, and they want to start a new branch in one of the state, in one of the place. So in that time, that's called expansion project. So whatever project is implemented in other branches should be implemented in the customer's new branch also, new factory or new in the new business. That's the expansion project. So these are some of the type of projects in the SAP. Okay, so now we'll go to HANA. What are some important? So just in the introduction today. Tomorrow we'll go detail what the structure, the whole structure will go in coming classes. Just I'll give some of the major difference between HANA and ECC from the ECC. So first we'll go through this and later we'll go in detail about HANA structure and the whole structure will go in detail. Okay, so HANA's important points. So HANA means high performance analytic appliance. Full form is high performance analytic appliance. HANA. Okay, so first is a shift in design. So 1 second, first like one more topic, then I'll come back again here. So I'll come back again to this one. We'll do one more topic, then I'll come here. So one is the different SAP are different products. So we are having S4 HANA now. So like the SAP are different products, different software for different type of companies. So basically based on the size of the employee, size of the company, they have different software. For example, so if you are company, you are a business, you are in a small business, and we are having less than 10 employees. In your office, you are having only less than 10 employees. And still you want ERP in your business, you can go for starter package. SAP starter package given by SAP for the small companies, less than 10 employees. If you are less than 10 employees, you can go for starter package. I'll come to POs later. Business one. So if you are having the employee strength of 10 to 250 employees, your company is having minimum of 10 and up to 250 employees, you can go for SAP business one. This basically is for SME, the B1 business, we call it business one or B1, SAP business one or B1. It's mostly used for the SME companies. SME means small and medium enterprise, small and medium enterprise, small and medium enterprise. That is a SME. For those companies, SAP has a product called SAP Business One. SAP Business One. SAP Business for 10 to 50 employees, SME companies. And business by design, if you are having more than 100, till 1,500, you can go for SAP Business by Design. So one more product is SAP Business by Design, where you can have the employees strength of 100 to 1,500 employees. So if you are having 100 to 50 employees, you can go either for Business One or you can go for Business by Design. Okay, this according to the strength of the employees, let's say we have different products. And all-in-one, if you are having more than 1,500 employees, you can go for all-in-one. So India, we are not having much all-in-one product. In European countries, they are using all-in-one also. Like ECC, S4 HANA, they are using all-in-one in their business. If your company is more than 1,500 employees, you can go either for all-in-one or S4 HANA. So ECC is now not given by SAP, it's a old system. So if you have more than 1,500 employees, you can go either for all-in-one or you can go for S4 HANA. And one more thing is ECCO, customer checkout. One more thing is CCO, customer checkout. So this is for POS system. POS means point of sale. POS means point of sale. POS means point of sale. So that is the point of sale. So this is like billing system in the retail shop. When you go to the retail shop, you have a billing system. For the SAP got the product called customer checkout. For the retail store, they have product called customer checkout. It's CCO, customer checkout. Okay, so these are some of the products from SAP. We'll come here now. So I'll see what some difference between S4 HANA and ECC. Okay, first we see the whole and the first point, shifting design. The shifting design. The whole design is changed from the ECC into S4 HANA. The whole design changed in ECC and S4 HANA. So basically the GUI and all same. GUI graphically the front screen is the same only, but from the background they have changed so much design. The design has been changed. So now we are able to use the web browser. Using the web browser also can do the SAP. You can use the SAP software, the S4 HANA software. So basically shifting design. Whole design has changed from the ECC and S4 HANA. Role-based integrated user experience. So each employee from the client side, once you start implement the SAP in a client base, the users will have one pleasant experience using the S/4HANA role-based integrated. So every employee will be linked to the role, the particular role. For example, if you are a sales employee, you will link to the role for a sales role. So according to the water transaction we are using on a daily basis, you'll be assigned a role. So role the end user can customize the whole role with their own experience. So they can there'll be a pleasant experience using their role. There'll be a pleasant experience and there's so many options for that. So basically, it's a role-based user experience. So each employee will be assigned a role. The role can be configured according to the S/4HANA settings. So it'll be pleasant to use for the end user. And can be control different applications real time. So suppose you are having a headquarters in US and you are having branches all over the world. So in US you are using SAP S/4HANA. The US headquarters company are using S/4HANA, and you are one of the branch in India is using the another software, not SAP. There is another software. So in that case, the headquarters company or head office, they can connect with the system from India. It can be other than SAP. It can be other than SAP or SAP. Anyway, the branch company can be connected to the headquarters company through the software. So yes, the S/4HANA can be connected to different applications, different real time. So it's not only SAP, it can be any software. SAP can be connected with that. Through the we have IDOC procedure. IDOC. Let's listen what's IDOC. Using the IDOC, we can talk with the different system other than SAP. That's this point. Can control different application real time. So from the US company, they want to report from the Indian company. They can easily get a report using this real time data processing. So they can consider any software other than SAP also through S/4HANA. And if you take memory, so usually the software ECC and all, they are using the hard drive to save the data. To store the data they are using the hard drive. So that was having that was a limited storage, and also system was very slow in the old hard drive storage. In S/4HANA, the memory is called in-memory HANA. So it's called in-memory HANA. So that memory, the S/4HANA memory is RAM memory, not ROM. See, I think RAM and RAM. So ROM is the random read-only memory. ROM is read-only memory. This is a read-only memory. And RAM is random access memory. RAM is random access memory. Random access memory. So in this case, random access memory. So in the S/4HANA, we are using RAM as a memory, not ROM. Memory is used as RAM. So once if your memory is based on the RAM, the system will be very fast. So once you store data in RAM, the process will be very fast, and also can store more data in RAM. In the RAM-based memory, you can store more data, and the process can be very fast. So basically, S/4HANA is having the memory called as in-memory HANA. The memory is called in-memory HANA in S/4HANA. The data stored in RAM, not in ROM. It is stored in RAM. Okay. And one more major difference between ECC and S/4HANA is a part of the material management and production planning. We have MRP. We get one thing that in ERP we are using one thing called MRP. So MRP means, so already know that I think material requirement planning. Material requirement planning. MRP means material requirement planning. So this is used for the calculation of the for the future for the future production or purchases we are using MRP. So for the future production purchase demand there is MRP process. So that's something called MRP run was there. There is something called MRP run. So once you run the MRP run, you will get the result of the MRP run will be how many production order needed for the future, how many purchase orders we get for the future. That will run through MRP run. So based on the past or future for the using the forecast or past data, they'll run the MRP to get the result of the production requirement and purchase requirement. So in this case, earlier there is MRP run. Yes, in ECC there is MRP run. The disadvantage was, so when you run the MRP run, there will be a lot of data were there. So lakhs of data to be there. So system was very slow and started to hang. So when you run the MRP run in the old ECC, the system will hang and it will take some more time. And also the system will start hanging and we can't do any transaction in ECC because the run was having so many data. So in that case, what they did the MRP only in the night time. In the world ECC, the MRP runs are done only night time, not in the daytime. So night time, there is one person called MRP controller. He will run the MRP in the night, and morning only the employees will get a result of the MRP run. This was the ECC. In S/4HANA, we have changed the name. That's MRP Live now. MRP Live. So that helps to. So this once when the MRP Live, you can run MRP any time of the day, and the system will not hang and will get the result of the MRP. So this is a major difference in S/4HANA ECC. In ECC, the MRP run was called MRP run. In S/4HANA, it's MRP Live. So it has so many advantages. It is very running fast, and you can take any number of data, any level of data. So there's one more difference between the S/4HANA and the ECC. So ECC, there is MRP Live. In S/4HANA, it's called DDMR. DD means demand driven MRP. Demand driven MRP. MRP. In SAP, in S/4HANA, okay, DD MRP Live. That's one more difference from S/4HANA from ECC. And DD MRP can be done from Fiori app also. I'll show what's Fiori app later. And SAP business partner. So this is a major difference in the S/4HANA. Our customer master got changed now. So BP master. So BP means business, already know. BP is business partner. Business partner. So in the earlier, the ECC, there are separate master data for customer master data. The T code was for customer was XD01, customer data creation, and supplier was XK01. For supplier creation, XK01, and for customer XD01. So there are different separate T code for business partner master data in the ECC. So this for customer and this for the supplier. This for the supplier. XK01 supplier. So there is separate code for customer master creation, supplier master creation. The disadvantage was in some places the customer, he is a customer, he is buying from me, and I am buying the raw material from him. The same person is a customer as well as supplier. The same person was customer as well as supplier. But ECC we can maintain only separate master data. XD01 for customer, so supplier for XK01. So in this case, what happened? Suppose the one person is there, one contract person or one contract is there, one sales employee or a contract person or bank employee. So the person is same for customer and supplier master data. Same person, he is a contract person as in the customer master data as well as supplier master data. But ECC there was difficulty in maintaining those employee data. So in the ECC it was difficult to maintain the same person as customer supplier. There was some disadvantage in that. So in this case, in the S/4HANA, we have T code called BP. There's no, both of the things are absolute now. In the S/4HANA, these two are not used now. The T code is BP. T code is BP itself. T code is BP. The BP can maintain both the supplier and customer in the same place. In the same place, we can maintain both customer and supplier through BP T code. So instead of XD01, XK01, their BP T code is there. Use the BP T code, you can both the customer, supplier and customer in the same window. So that you can maintain the contract person or sales employee, both the persons at the same time. This is a major difference between ECC and S/4HANA in BP master data. So these two are obsolete now. We can't use the new T code is BP. Okay. That's one more major difference between ECC and S/4HANA. There's a major difference for SAP SD also. For SD and majorly for SD and MM, this is a major change. SD and material management module, it's a major change, big master. So in coming class, we'll see detail about how to make this business part of data configuration, everything we'll see in detail later, coming classes. And if you go for material master data, material level changes. So earlier we have only 18 characters. In S/4HANA, in ECC, the total material master length is 18 characters. In S/4HANA, it can extend to up to 40 characters. S/4HANA can extend up to 40 characters. Okay, so earlier in the ECC we had only 18 characters material master data. Now you can add up to 40 characters, so that the client side management they can easily find out the item detail from the material master code only. From the code only they can find out what type of material, where to purchase, everything can come to know. So there's one more difference between S/4HANA and ECC. So one more row column report. So usually, usually we'll get the report. Normally we'll get the report by first reading the row. First we'll read the row. We'll read the row, then the system will read the column. These are the standard reporting process. When you win the report from any document, first the system will read the row, and then you'll read the columns. But the S/4HANA, first you'll read the columns, then you'll read the row. Then the row. So this is the difference between S/4HANA reporting and ECC reporting. So normally we'll use the report by reading first row and column, but S/4HANA first read the column, then read the row. So that's a technical thing. Just concept you got to know. So basically S/4HANA create the report by reading column first, then row first, then row second. Okay. So next one is so reduce data footprint. So if you are getting the old ECC, when you transfer to S/4HANA data from the ECC to S/4HANA, so in if HANA database, the HANA database, as I told you earlier, HANA data was used in till 2015. In 2015, we are using the HANA database 2011 to 2015. So in this case, so in the HANA database, we need only 180 GB. Suppose the ECC are having 593 GB in the ECC. When you transfer to S/4HANA, we need only 180 GB data storage. So out of 593 ECC, when you transfer to SAP S/4HANA, sorry, not S/4HANA, HANA database. When you transfer HANA database, you can store up to the 593 will reduce to 180 GB. Okay. In S/4HANA, the same 593 can be changed to 42.4 GB. This is called data footprint. Then you transfer data from one system to another system. That's a data footprint. For ECC, when you transfer HANA database 180 GB, in S/4HANA it's only 42.4 GB required for storage. This one more point about S/4HANA. And one more major difference between S/4HANA and ECC, output determination. So already we are using the output like print output, email output, and all. Earlier it was output determination. In S/4HANA, in ECC we call as output determination. In SAP, in S/4HANA we call it BRF. BRF means business rule framework. The new output process called BRF plus, business rule framework plus, and we can have IDOC also. So IDOC is mostly used for the connecting with other systems. So from the SAP system, we can connect other system through IDOC. The whole thing is called now BRF plus. Since output determination, areas of output determination are message control, now we call it BRF, business rule framework. Okay. And one more thing is about in accounting. So earlier in accounting, we have one thing called ACD OCA, so universal journal. So all your accounting entries are made in one journal, that is a single source of truth. In single source of truth means in one ACD OCA universal journal, you can get all the accounting concept. All the accounting details can be stored in ACD OCA universal journal. This one more point. And if you take tables, if you take for example one table, so in S/4HANA we already so many tables. So a lot of tables are eliminated and made new tables inside. For example, in the inventory model, there's a table called matched. Earlier there's different tables are there, like the Mara, different tables are there. So they are having in S/4HANA we have only one table matched doc. For example, one table matched doc. They reduce almost 26 plus tables from the inventory concept from the ECC. In the ECC, there was for inventory reducing more than 26 plus tables, but S/4HANA is one table matched doc that reduces almost 26 plus tables. Like that everywhere in the S/4HANA, every functionality, they have made a table that reduces the size of the data. For example, the match doc reduces more than eliminate 26 plus tables from the ECC software system. This one more point. And one more thing, Fiori. The main thing in the Fiori and the S/4HANA is one is the cloud management, next one is the Fiori. So Fiori is a web browser. Fiori is web browser. Fiori is a web browser. We can call as web browser. Web browser. So like how your Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, can use a Fiori web browser. So Fiori web browser is a new thing from the SAP. So now you need not install SAP in your system, in your laptop or in your any gadget. You need not install SAP in that. You can get to the SAP system through web browser. So for example, if the item if a document needs approval, so the management can give the approval from anywhere. They can from their mobile or from their tab or not anywhere they can get the SAP access through web browser, through Fiori web browser. So through the web browser, you can get access to any of the SAP functionality. Mostly used for the management people from the client side. So Fiori, one more thing about Fiori app is, so need not remember the T code now. In the web browser, in the Fiori app, need not remember the T code now. You can directly type a sales order, you'll open the sales order. No need to know the T code. Anyway, in Fiori web browser. So advantage is the training is less now. When you implement SAP ECC system, the training itself will get more than 2 months. So the training for industry will get more than 2 or 3 months because they can remember all the T code and their process are different. But in Fiori app, so no need to remember the T code. So training, the training requirement is very less now. The employees can be trained very easily because they need not the T code and all. They can easily do the transition through Fiori app. So the training period is now reduced for the end user from the client side. So minimal training. So Fiori app using the minimal training for the end users. Okay, so I'll finish this one, then I'll go for a break. I'll finish this page, then I'll go for a break. So next one is OLTP. So one more thing, reporting process. The old reporting process was called OLTP, Online Transaction Processing. There's a old reporting system. Now it is called OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. So in the Fiori and all, they can use the analytical reporting using OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. So using the business warehouse, they can use OLAP. There's a new process in the S4HANA. So earlier it was OLTP, now it's called OLAP in S4HANA. So next point, cloud deployment. So you can the customer can go for cloud deployment. So they need not install SAP server in their system, in their factory, they can go for cloud deployment for the data in maintain the cloud. Two more modules are now in SAP S4HANA. Transportation management, SAP extended warehouse management. This is a new module from SAP for S4HANA. Transportation management, new module like the EWM, we call it EWM, extended warehouse management. It's a new module in SAP. So these two are new modules in S4HANA. Like SDMM module, these are two additional modules now. Warehouse manager like that, we have two more additional modules. And if you take the site, that is so it's still in S4HANA. Still ECC is having 80% data. The settings from the ECC still there in the S4HANA. So S4HANA more than 80% from ECC only. So if you want to know S4HANA, without ECC you can't learn S4HANA. You have to know what is ECC, then only you can learn S4HANA also. Because 80% data are taken from ECC only. By 2025 their target, and that they'll go fully for S4HANA. They'll not change ECC, everything will be S4HANA. But as of now, 80% taken from the ECC only. Okay. There is extension add-on. We have some extension add-ons from SAP other than the main software. We have some new add-ons. SAP Ariba, basically vendor-based cloud management. The customers can buy the SAP Ariba to manage their vendor cloud management, so that they can easily interact with their suppliers. There's SAP Ariba vendor-based cloud management. One add-on. Another add-on is Concur. For travel experience web add-on for the HR people. So they can manage the travel and expense through Concur add-on. And Fieldglass is for mostly for the contract work. For the business having contract business, they can go for SAP Fieldglass. Okay, this is a new add-on from SAP for their customers for maintaining the contract process. And HANA is a database. So HANA is, as I told, HANA is a database. S4HANA is a new product. So HANA we are using as a database like SQL and Oracle. S4HANA is a new product. It's a whole product name is S4HANA. So S4HANA called Business Suite 4 also. You call it Business Suite 4 also. And if you take deployments, so based in the Linux server, so SUC Linux server. Okay, they are installing a Linux server built on C++, and there are different memory processing engines in the database. These are different servers for S4HANA, index server, like that some server details are there. Okay, so these are some details about the introduction to ERP and SAP. So all of you are able to follow? Everybody?
Yeah.
So I was showing that this slide. So So different thing about the ERP, SAP and S/4HANA. So I'll take one more slide from the here. So this will help for you tomorrow. You can check that. So we'll see some more things now. So some more things input about the HANA, S/4HANA. So after we'll go for the SD model, particular SD model go later. So one more presentation for the S/4HANA introduction. So what is S/4HANA? Already saw what the advantages of, what the difference between S/4HANA and ECC. We saw some details. So some more details about S/4HANA deployment. What are things are SAP, the S/4HANA, the new product. Go through that. So after we'll go for the introduction to SAP. After we'll go for SAP introduction. Okay. Okay, so I'll go to, we'll take this slide now. So it says SAP S4 now. So you can find, once you get the LMS portal, you can get the file from here. So these are materials, different materials given by the ZaranTech. So that what I took earlier, that is not here. I'll tell them to include that one. So now I'll take this one. We are taking this slide now, S4HANA overview. This one I take now, S4HANA overview. Okay, so we'll see what are the things about S/4HANA. So what are these we're learning here? Already we saw the history of SAP. Again, same thing is given here also. We'll go through that S/4HANA evolution and architecture overview, deployment option, deployment factors. These are things we can see in this slide. This already seen that. This is given in detail here. This is started in 1972. Actually, 72 was a simple product. 1973 made a R1. So earlier for a single product only. In R1 1973. So you can see that. You can see this is settings. This is data. This application. This is data. This is a front end. What a GUI, graphical user interface. So you can see three here. Both together as one. All the three in one layer or one tier. Presentation and application and data. And 97 became R2, started above programming here. And this is R92, R3. So they separate here. I told us two things together and one is separate. So R3. And in 2004, it was with the popular Java. There's a native, they introduced a native concept in 2004. And 2005, it was a ERP EHP 7. 2005 became ERP EHP 7. That's a R and ECC version. So here NetWeaver included. The NetWeaver introduced 2004 as well as 2005. NetWeaver was introduced. So step is again the same thing. So in all-in-one, they started all-in-one 2006, as I already told. So we saw that this all-in-one. We saw different products here. So all-in-one we started in 19. So you can see that. So all-in started in 2006. And 2011, they introduced the HANA database, not S/4HANA. They introduced HANA database in the 2011. And 2009, it was Business Suite 7 with the ERP, and again with the NetWeaver. And 2015, they introduced the S/4HANA product. So this is a history of SAP throughout the years. Already saw in detail. So the architecture of S/4HANA, you can see there is a software. Programming and this you can say development and web. So together they are integrated into S/4HANA. The difference between the database is different. As I told, it's a HANA database, not SQL or a Oracle. It's a HANA database. So deployment options, where can be deployed, and user experience, some advanced functions in EI. So this is a major difference between ECC and S/4HANA. Database change, deployment option change, user experience is different in S/4HANA. And advanced function is S/4HANA. The SAP system. So that ECC we can call as that business suite, that SAP business suite. So these are the applications, like there are so many applications that ERP means like regular ERP, like all the modules inside the ERP, material management, sales and distribution, production planning. This is a CRM module was there, customer relationship management, supplier, and then this is a supply management, supply chain management, plan maintenance. So everything is part of the business suite, SAP business suite applications. And you can see here, this is a ECC system. So it's a business, business variables, supply chain management. So all these modules were in the business suite. In S/4HANA, this service is different now, SAP system. You can convert, you can transfer data from ECC to S/4HANA using the SAP systems, integration with the SAP systems. The S/4HANA server will be there. and link with a business warehouse in S4HANA. So get all the report, analytical reporting, you can use the business warehouse for S4HANA reporting. Okay, this is architecture. It's a simple concept here. We'll come in detail again later. So in S4HANA architecture, if you take architecture, it's the same thing and see that. It's a UL layer. What I told R3 structure, same thing and E here. In R3 I explained the percentage layer, database layer, application layer. In S4HANA also you can see that. This is a UL layer, graphical user interface, UL layer, user interface layer, application layer, and database layer. So as I showed here, same thing here. So as I told, showed here, no, the same thing, this one. So these three layers you can see in the S4HANA system also. So three layers, UL layer, application layer. And you can see a Fiori shell. So the Fiori is carrying the all the applications. So Fiori means there's a web browser. So I'll try to show system server. So that will show what is Fiori. So this S4HANA system is literally what is S4HANA system is a common system, and for the if you go for the Fiori app, okay, Fiori app can get from so the link I forgot something. The link was. Okay, so actually that is I got a new service. I don't remember all the credentials. So have you anybody seen this? Are you using the Fiori app? Anybody? And here the training. Already using the Fiori app? Anybody?
No, I am first time.
Okay. So this is a Fiori app. This is a Fiori app. So this is a regular one. This is a regular EC system. It's a GUI. You can call this a GUI. This is a GUI. And that's a Fiori app. So here the same thing. Whatever is EC, same thing here. But the Fiori is different here. This is a Fiori app. It's a web browser. You can see this is a web browser, not from the SAP server system. And suppose you want to make a sales order. So what you have to you have to type sales order. Type sales order. You'll get all the later apps. So we can call it apps. So all the apps related to sales order will open here. So actually I had wait. Actually the Fiori app, we have so many students are using. It became a little slow. So you actually get wait some more time. Then you have to type here. You get the things and done. So it will take some time. So initially you have to give some time, then only you can start the searching option. So anyway, this is a Fiori app. So when you type the sales, take apps and sales, type sales order. Your apps, all the apps related to sales order will show up, and from there you can make the sales order. So like this, make a new sales order. So I should have waited some more time. So a little slow. Okay, let it show later. Let it open. Let this complete. We'll next slide. So this is a Fiori app. So it has the data here, data, and we get the studio analysis app. So basically, this is all for analytical reporting. For analytic, in the Fiori app, we can do a lot of analytics. So here. So a lot of analytics is there. Okay, I'll come to Fiori app later. I'll show the Fiori app later because it's a little slow today. I'll show the Fiori app later. Okay, so this is so for the analytical. For the major thing about Fiori is analytics. So you can have a lot of analytics. So you can drill down the minute detail. You can drill down the report through the minute details using the analytic engine. This analytic engine in the Fiori app. So we have the three things. One is the transactional logic, like making the transactions in the Fiori app. So gateway from between the ABAP and the S/4HANA. So there's an analytic engine for reporting and the enterprise research. You can do the research option from the. I showed that no sales type sales order, all the sales order will show that. So search option, the Fiori app, and we have CDS view. See the core data scheme, I think. So I'll explain later. So I'll explain detail about the CDS view later. That is part of S/4HANA. So it's a core data screen. So part of the S/4HANA. SAP HANA. So in that case, in this thing, you can see the table information. So when you do the transaction itself, you can see the table views from the point of view, from the SD point of view. You can see the table from the particular transaction. That's called CDS view. So we'll see in detail about later. It's a part of the curriculum. We'll see later in detail. And see the architecture for in-memory for S/4HANA. HANA is a platform. HANA is a platform. We got the OLAP, online analytical processing, and this is so already saw that. No, we have seen that. So this one, OLAP and OLTP and OLAP and OLTP. So this OLAP and OLTP merge in the S/4HANA system. So both are merged in the S/4HANA system to get better reporting. And in-memory compression. So the data are stored and compressed to be having more space. So in-memory compression, code push down. So you can most of the codes are limited in the S/4HANA system. And data speed. The data are stored in very high speed in S/4HANA. Increased speed for data. To do the application and all, we have the more speed now. Increased speed in the S/4HANA. And it's a responsive system. So responsive design. So it's a intercommunication is better in S/4HANA. So it's a user experience very good in Fiori app. So employees in the special regular user role, they can have better experience using the SAP Fiori app. So tomorrow I'll show in detail about SAP Fiori app. Then you have web-based all devices. So all the details are web-based, and you can get the SAP access from any device, any gadget to web browser. So web-based all devices. You can use all the gadgets. It's a role-based. So Fiori basically role-based. So I couldn't open that one. So it's basically role-based. So every employee will get a role. So they will get the function according to their role given by the administrator. As a decisive, productive, predictive, and simulative. So you can simulate the reports as well as predict for the future, forecasting, and make a decision immediately based on the HANA application. As a principle of one, simplification application data model. So it's a data model simplification applications. All the applications simple and in a very informative manner is maintained. And so one recommended solution. So it's one solution for the all the functionality in one solution. So it's for a single solution for all your business requirements. And no aggregate, no indices. So it's a reporting purpose and highly flexible throughout. So throughout the process, it's a highly flexible. The whole product is highly flexible. And data footprint reduction. So that is actually what I showed. This one. This is a rate of reducing the data footprint. So from when you convert into a system data into ECC into S/4HANA or HANA data, this is a footprint. So footprint is reduced so much. So data footprint reduction in S/4HANA. When you convert from one system to another system, the data footprint reduction is very less in S/4HANA. And here is a new experience, new user experience theory. So same thing again here. You can go through later these slides and all. So simply data about application innovations. About that applications, simplification application and underlying data model. So it's a redundancy is very much reduced in the S/4HANA. Redundancy is very much reduced. So again, same data will not be repeated. So single source of truth for all the accounting, especially about the accounting concept. So single source of truth for the accounting and application optimizations, higher flexibility throughout and innovations. So S/4HANA has so many reporting innovation. You can go through and search for the innovations in S/4HANA. And it's the underlying platform for OLAP and OLTP merge. So online analytical processing and OLTP. So both are maintained there. This one, OLTP and OLAP, they are merged together in the S/4HANA to get the better reporting options. Again, the architecture. So the business started with the business suite, and so this is the different versions. Different versions in S4 ECC 6.0 was there. Then the 6.0, they introduced EHP 7, EHP 8 and all. So different versions in the ECC system. So they started NetWeaver with 7 and 7.5. Then so different NetWeaver versions, different NetWeaver versions for different versions of SAP ECC. So any database can be used in the. So here, any database means I told about the Oracle and SQL and HANA database. Anything can be used here. SQL or Oracle can be used as in database. And in S/4HANA and the 6.0, they introduced S/4HANA database. They introduced HANA database when the version was 1.0. NetWeaver version was 7.4 and 7.5. HANA database version was 1.0. In S/4HANA Finance, they introduced the different versions 1503. So ERP was 6.0. They called EHP 7 and 8. NetWeaver is 7.4 or 7.5. And HANA database version was 1.0. It is S/4HANA Finance. And again, S/4HANA in coming later from 2015, these are different versions of S/4HANA. So now we are in 2020. So my software is in 2020. So 99 came and 1809 came. So these are different NetWeaver versions for that. 7.5, 5.1 and 5.2. And HANA database version is 2.0. Now it is 2.0 HANA database. So it's a different growth during the version changes, version upgradation. So this is some more things given here. This is add-ons for the SAP S/4HANA. This is a Finance 1503. We have the add-ons here, ERP add-ons, like for ACM, we have the add-ons, SRM, CRM. And later we have the success factors. So maybe one more, maybe later I will give one more talk about this architecture. Just in go through the introduction today now. Later one more day, another day I'll take one more concept about this architecture, So this is success factors. We have the Concur add-on and Ariba and Hybrid. These are the different add-ons given by SAP using success factors. We have the CRM, supply chain management, and this one is there. This different versions, HANA versions. Okay, these are different versions. So maybe one more class I'll take for this architecture of S/4HANA. This a digital application. Leonardo is another digital application, mostly for analytical. This is mostly for analytical and digital information get from the SAP. So we have the Leonardo, SAP Leonardo. We have success factors and the different add-ons, Fieldglass, Concur, Ariba, Hybris. These are all the different add-ons used in the Leonardo. And we have the different so version is 7.09, 1709, 1809, different modules inside the S/4HANA. And this Leonardo, we have the experience management, we have the other modules, and different versions are given. So this can go through later also, and I will also give one more topic on this architecture, different architecture for S/4HANA. So this is also some point about that. So it's basically S/4HANA is the next generation business suite. So basically it consists of on-premise 1909 above. So now we have got some more versions. Now 1909 old one, 2020 also that. So that's basically on-premise. You can use as on-premise products in the SAP. And the Fiori app. So this was so now 2020 is there. So Fiori front end server. So this is a configure of SAP Fiori. You can see the web dispatcher. This is basically a technical thing. So we have the back end, so that can be 1909 or 2020. So NetWeaver, And you can some more details can. These are different versions from the S4HANA. So 2.0, SAP HANA 2.0, so HANA data latest version. So this is a database for the ABAP backend. So all the SAP transfers done through ABAP programming. So it's a backend for the HANA 2.0. So 2.0 is a database. HANA database basically for the ABAP backend the server. Okay. So HANA database should be HANA database. So S4 HANA, we can't have any other database, which should be only HANA database. So this, so the advantage is that we have the report, as I told, that row level, row level and column level reporting. You can see that here. These are different servers here. So where was stored in rows, and this HANA database is a HANA database. So here columns are stored. So you can take both columns are stored, row. So here just only rows are stored in the old systems with the Oracle database or SQL database. In S4 HANA database, with HANA database, you can store the data in columns also. That's the thing I told. We can get the report from the column wise first and row wise second. Okay. And this is some tables. So in the so there are aggregations in the ECC. The row column that data tables are taken. See here, this is into row-based data. Here this based on row-based data. So we the table can aggregate in the Excel sheet and any reporting, and so that is the database. So ECC that one. In S4 HANA, so column-based data. So in the reporting, it take advantage of the column-based data much for reading of specific values. So instead of using this row-based, you can the S4 HANA we are seeing column-based reporting. So this, so the SAP systems, the base system, basically in the SAP system based on basis system, here also different version. We are in different version for the this basis operation also, basic functionality. So again, some more things. So here the ECC and compared to the ECC and the S4 HANA server. So in the ECC, we are using the EHP8. The latest was EHP8 in the ECC. That's separate for HR and oil and industries and different industries. HR, we got different versions here for the EHP7, EHP8, sorry, EHP8 for ECC, and this is a different version of basis. Native 7.5. In the S4 HANA 2020, latest in 2020, we have the different modules. We have the S4 core here, S4 core and other versions. And here also basis, the version is 755. And above fountain is 220. It's a different version of the technical model. So need not know much about this because we were mostly based on the functional concept. Just for information, you can see these details. Option we take up deployment option S4 HANA. So this is a so when you implement SAP S4 HANA in implementations, there is a degree of standardization is there. So there is a degree of standardization in all the implementation concept about the S4 HANA implementation. We got the implementation upgrade to we got the implementation project, upgrade project, scope of the project, extensibility for the project into different branches. So as I told you earlier, I showed here that when I told about that different type of project. So that you can see here. So see here, this implementation project, upgrade project, scope of the extending the scope, and extensibility to the other other functionality, other branches for the same factory. Deployment configuration. So that's everything is there is a standard of degree of standardization is there. And flexibility. So operation and security license can be flexible for the S4 HANA implementation. So major thing is there is a degree of standardization for all these tools, all these tools. We saw the tools here, different type of tools, implementation tools. So different type of project. So this can be used to the S4 HANA system also. Same concept can be used in S4 HANA also. Like this implementation project, upgrading, scope, and flexibility. And everything maintained by degree of standardization. And all the application can be done with the degree of flexibility. So cloud management, so we can have the full access to the cloud management from the S4 HANA. So we have the cloud one, the functionality that SAP S4 HANA application is there, and we have the extended edition also for that, and cloud private edition. So this is the So here in the second, you can see the second one, external edition. So the same cloud from the S/4HANA with more flexibility and control. So different type of cloud management. One is a regular cloud, provides a full cloud approach for the end user, for the client, reside on the provider server, and is fully operated maintained by SAP. So the cloud management maintained by SAP for all the customer side data can be kept by using the SAP in the cloud server. So basically, if I give the full cloud approach based on the client's demand stored by the SAP in the cloud. And extended edition, we can have more flexibility and control. And private edition, so that can be that are not shared with other organizations. So the cloud private edition, data is not shared with any other organization. Only for the customer side, shared with only SAP. Will not be shared with any other organization. Then we have on-premise managed by SAP HCC. So another one. So it's another part of another kind of storing like cloud management on-premise solution hosted by SAP and any premise. So the SAP S/4HANA data can be maintained by third party also, not only from SAP, can be managed by any other cloud provider as well as any third party cloud vendor. So deployment factors on the system conversion from the based on cloud management, so you can do this system conversion from the all the on-premise means from the in the client system, when you client side, when you install a system, there's a on-premise deployment. So the S/4 can be done with on-premise deployment or new implementation. So this can be transferred from old system. Here's a fully new implementation. The second this option, you have to install the implementation for S/4HANA fully as a new implementation. So new implementation or hybrid approach. So deployments. So you can transition from the old system and also maintain the S/4HANA standard system. So these two are linked with that. So this is the system conversion from the old system to S/4HANA system conversion. This is a new implementation, and this is hybrid. You can do the system conversion as well as the new implementation third level. The deployment factor. So one thing is you can implement S/4HANA with the conversion from the old system, or it's a new implementation, or to become hybrid, both together. Some data from input from the other system, and we will do the implementation on the premise directly from the S/4HANA. Okay, this is an introduction to S/4HANA structure. So maybe one more day, I'll take this in detail. One more time in detail. Once you go to transactions later, I'll come to here, and one more time I'll explain this concept. So, are you able to follow this one? This topic, are you able to follow? So, everybody able to follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. So now we'll go on to the introduction to the SD model. We'll go to SD model now. So all of you, like what the experience you are having? Are you as a consultant, you have worked out all the SD model configuration as well as transactions. Do you know all the standard transaction SAP SD model? All of you already work in SAP SD, I think so. So what are the handle? So in your current position, what are the things handling SAP SD model? You can give an idea. So do you do the whole cash to sell? Sell to pay. That's whole process. Sell to order. So order to pay. So have you got all the basic things SD model, like making the infrastructure, then the documents? Are you aware of all the things in SD model?
Yes.
So do everybody know how to make the infrastructure and infrastructure for SD model? Everybody knows that.
You meant to say basic configuration of entities, right?
Yeah.
Enterprise.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. Then what are transactions like inquiry, quotation, order, delivery, invoice? So are you aware of all those transactions?
Basic.
Okay. Then about the basic function, like making the basic function, like is free goods and the item proposal. Those is all. Are you aware of that? All the basic things.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll go through introduction to SD model today. So from tomorrow you can start the practice session. So everybody get the server access for the practice session? Have you got a...
No, Shekhar. That will be
Not
sent.
yet.
No.
Okay. So once that you got, then tomorrow you can start with the structure, interview structure. So our training, if once you get that link, the server link. So first we'll take that. First I'll in my system I'll show we'll make the structure and all the transactions, and after that you can try inverse system with the same thing. So like that you can practice. It will be helpful for you. So once you get the server link tomorrow. So first we'll start with the structure, interface structure. So I'll show from my system I can show that you can also make do it inverse system every day. First we'll take the theory part. So in the system how to make the transaction and all. Same thing you can practice. You can also practice that. So it will be more benefit for you. So today we'll see the introduction to SD model. Tomorrow we'll start with the practice session. So just go to the SD.
Provides the access, Shekhar, like is there any process?
No, I can know. So I'll check with the ZaranTech. I'll check with how it is provided to you.
Syed might know the process. Syed, if you are in call.
Yeah, what process do you want to know?
Yeah, about the access of the SAP system, the S4HANA system.
Sir, no. So I will provide the username and the password. So you will have to just set it up. So that will be sent after the session ends, right? Or by EOD today, everyone will have your respective credentials.
Yeah. Also the SOP for the login, right?
Yeah, your login credentials, all of that will be provided. And to set it up or like a demo, Shekhar tomorrow will first show it, and then you can follow.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you get a server link, tomorrow you can start the practice session. I'll show first, then you can do in your system.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so now we'll go through the sales introduction, SD introduction, sales distribution model introduction. So already you know there are different models in the SAP. So different models are there. So different model, we have the production model, human resources, planning and unity management, reporting. So all these are different models from SAP. SD is one of the module here. So like material management, production planning, we have one more model. Sales, already you know that sales and distribution model. So in this, what are things we are handling? In S4HANA SD model, what are things handled? We'll see what is SAP SD, what are key features, key components. So we'll go through this introduction. So you already know that. So what are the additional things you are getting? You can increase your knowledge. So this is basically is a business process used in SAP ERP. So in selling, once you make if you are a manufacturing company, once you produce a finished good, it should be sold to the customer. So that is starting with the selling process. So you get in any business, when you have the sales or selling the finished goods, the process will be started with inquiry. So the process starts with inquiry. So later it comes again. I'll show the slide also. So once we have the FG item, we have an FG item, we have produced the FG item. So now we have to sell the customer. So for that you can we can include the CRM model also here during the real time. You can CRM model to get the better customer relationship. So once you make the item in the production model or production system, you can sell the customer. So they'll sell the customer one or some customer. We'll sell the customer. So process starts with there. So we can get some advertisement or files, business files and all. So that you can reduce your item to the customers. So if the customers are interested through wherever we contact, through meetings or through mails or calls, we can find the potential customers. So once the customers determined, so they will ask for the inquiry. So the process starts from inquiry. They'll ask detail about the item details. What is that item? What's the price of the item? What's the quality? They can give the inquiry. So based on inquiry, so we give the quotation. So based on the inquiry, we'll give the quotation. will mention the price and the quantity of the items, quotation. So the quotation done when they are satisfied with the quotation, and they will give the purchase order. For will be purchase order, but for us, for the customer side is for the suppliers is a sales order. Is a sales order. So this is the PO from the customer and sales order on the supplier side. So when the sales are created, we'll do the delivery. So sales are completed, and we'll deliver that to the customer to delivery. And finally, with that, billing will be done. So once the confidence got from this customer that he has received the item, we'll do the billing. We'll do the billing, and finally, we'll done by the accounts with the payment. Payment from the account. So we'll do only the billing. This is done with the account department. This is a process happening in the any sales process. This is a standard process. Start with the inquiry, quotations, order, delivery, billing, and payment. So in between, we got some more things. Like we got the contract. We got the contract option, contract, the scheduling agreement. So we'll see in detail later. Scheduling agreement. These are some of the transaction used in SD model. Start with the inquiry. Okay, so we have the include selling, shipping, billing. So we have to sell the product as well as we have to ship the product and get the bill, send the bill to the customer. So basically, the SD model manages customer relationship starting from raising quotation, sales or billing. So starting with the inquiry, quotation, sales and billing. So managed by SD sales and distribution module. So it's integrated with other modules like material management, production planning, and finance. So SD model is integrated with other modules. Like MM, PP, FI, and W warehouse management. Like so many models can be linked here with the SD model. So in the SAP SD model, we have the different key features. Key features, price and taxation. So you can maintain the price and the tax in the sales documents through the tax configuration as well as pricing configuration. So already know the price configuration and the calculation schema and all you can use for pricing, and we can do availability check. So at any point of view, any point of time, you can get the sales order requirement, like whether items are available for the sales order delivery, and if it's not there, we can system will recommend when it's available, and the automatic availability check is there. We can do that through automatic availability AATP. You'll get a better result from the such availability check configuration and building an invoice. These are the key features in SD model. One is the price and taxation and availability check configuration, and we have the billing and invoice. These are some features in the SD model. So some more things. So that was three. That was first is the price and availability check, billing, and we have the material determination. So you can find material determination like we can particularly assign some material for the customer. So always buying the same material from us. There are so many things are there. So complementary material determination we can take as a basic functions like free goods, material determination, item proposal. Lot of things are there. In just one of the key features of SAP SD. We got the free goods configuration there. Material determination means you can so suppose someone is not available, you can replace another item, and so customer can select the item from the list of items. So that can configure the basic functions. Comes under basic functions. And credit management. So you can maintain credit management for the customer. Whether when he is exceeding the credit management, the system can give a warning message or error message. So in S/4HANA, we are having the credit management with the finance supply management. So we added ECC. It was limited to simple finance, simple credit management. In S/4HANA, we are having with FSCM, finance supply chain management. They are recommending the credit management in a very better way. And account determination. So basically linked with the SD model, linked with the finance model through account determination. This is all we can see later. Some of the functionality inside the SD model. So what are those there? We can see the price and taxation, availability check, billing and invoice, and here the basic function. We call this a basic functions, credit management, and account determination. These are key features in SAP SD model. Are the key components, master data. So master basically customer master data and the material master data. So basically two main masters in SAP. One is the master data, one is the customer master, another material master. And also one more thing is customer info record. So three basic master data. And we have the master data, sales process like inquiry quotation, shipping of materials delivery, billing related transactions, and sales support after the sales we can do the support the customer with the sales support, transportation. So after during the shipping of material we have to transport the products and foreign trade also. These are the key components of SAP SD model. In the old ECC as well as S4HANA, the process is same only. The business process same in S4HANA as well as ECC also. So this is the master data. We have the master data one. So that time, so every time we need not make the details again. We make a metal master one time for a finished product, or make custom master data one time. That can be used any number of times in the transaction. So it's as master data, which helps to track each time every transaction within the data. So same master can be used in any number of transactions. And master data comprises both customer and the metal data. So master data, the sales and distribution master data, customer master data consists both customer and metal data. So metal master will contain metal data, customer master will contain metal master data, customer master data, and credit management also can be maintained in the master data. In the world ECC as well as in the S4HANA, you can maintain credit management in the supplement master data, customer master data also. And as I already told, in the S4HANA, the master data is totally different. BIP master totally different from the earlier S4HANA, SAP ECC master data. The customer master data is a whole change happened in the main thing is customer data change. So as I told, the earlier using ST7 for customer master data, now it is absolute now. It is only BP master, BPT code. Okay, so screen will be like this one. The BIP master will be screen like this now. So here it has a different screen. Now we are in BP master, BPT code. This is a BP master screen. So it's a totally different from the ECC BP master. If you put X301, the old one, system will not accept. So showing it's great. So it will come to again the same field only. Come to this one. This is a new customer master data. So tomorrow we'll see in detail. Coming class we'll see in detail. Okay, so I'll close this one. So we'll see in detail later what's big master. So basically, master the business partner details will maintain the business partner master data, and credit management details also kept in the big master. And the master is the most important factor. So both customer and metal master data, they are very important in the SAP model, SD model. So otherwise, you can't do any transaction. So the SD model includes process of order and cash. The SD model includes the process of order and cash. Order means that's the inquiry quotation order and the cash process, getting the cash from the customer. So there are if you take master data functions, this is a master data. There's a customer master, metal master, pricing also master only. So pricing also maintained as master data. So these are main three masters. The two levels are first level is customer master, metal master condition. Second level master data include output conditions like customers details, details of material, reporting, basically about reporting, and flexible data business environment. So basically the master data, customer master, metal master, and pricing masters, and they can use for output conditions, getting the transaction done through billing or payments. And so always you can have flexible data structures. So that supports the whole business environment, whole business sales environment. We can say you can do with the flexible data structures. Okay. So this is a pre-sales. If you say the what are process happening in SAP SD model or any business, this is a process. So pre-sales, inquiry is a pre-sales, and we have a quotation. So we have the contract and schedule agreement. Already know, I think. So contract means a long-term agreement with the customer. So for 1 year, I'll sell the item to the customer with the same price, with the same quantity for the whole year. For example, 10,000 kg of item I'll send the customer for the whole year. So I'll have agreement with him. So he can, whenever he needs the item, he can make a purchase order to me asking the quantity based on the contract. So contract long-term agreement, and schedule agreement also long-term agreement, but here we use purchase schedule length. So maybe later we'll show in detail. So contract is a long-term agreement without any delivery schedule. Schedule agreement will get a delivery schedule. So you'll get delivery schedule. So daily schedule. Scheduling agreement will get schedule, daily schedule. So for the whole period, for 1 year or 6 months, we particular schedule lengths. So for example, if the quantity is 1000 quantity, so here we get supply the item for a whole year, 1000 items. You can make any number of sales order. We have to cover 1000 items for a whole year. The scheduling agreement. So I think you already know that. I can maybe later we will see in detail. Then the order. So based on the quotation or the contract to scheduling, we'll give the order, sales order. Customer will give the purchase order for supply is a sales order. And once the order is, this is a order processing procurement from the customer side. It's a procurement process. We'll give the inquiry, we'll give the quotation, and here mentioned contract scheduling agreement, and give the order. Once that is, we'll go for a shipping operation. So delivery option that can take it from the warehouse or storage locations, shipment. It is a goods issue to the customer side. To the customer, leave the goods issue. Through transportation means we'll give the goods issue, and once it is done, we'll give the billing document. And here we have the stock updates in the account books, finance books. We'll get the stock account, material account output update. So stock value will decrease or increase. When you receive the item into the store for particular material, the stock will increase, stock value will increase. Once you sell the item to the customer, the stock value will decrease. And for the billing, we will link with the accounts receivable. So account receivable means customer payments. Accounts payable is vendor payment. Account receivable is customer payment. So that will be monitored by the finance accounting. So this is a process happening in any sales process. This is a common transaction: inquiry, quotation, order, and contract schedule agreement also. These are called outline agreements. These two are called outline agreements. These two are called outline agreements. So there are two outline agreements in the purchase as well as the sales process. Outline agreements. So one is contract. There are two outline agreements in both purchasing and sales. One is contract. One is contract. Next one is scheduling agreement. Next one is scheduling agreement. So scheduling outline agreements. So contract, as I told, 1000 quantity for whole year. But scheduling agreement will give the quantity, but will give the particular schedule lengths. For example, on 06/05/23, we'll give 100 item. So for the whole quantity, we'll split it into different delivery schedules. The customer will have particular schedule lengths for the whole period. So for example, May 6th and again at 23, sign 23, I'll give one more requirement. Delivery schedules. So basically, scheduling will contain different schedule lengths. Again, 200 item for May 23rd. Like that, will be so many schedule lengths for the one scheduling agreement. Contract will not have the difference between contract and scheduling agreement is contract will not have any particular schedule lengths. The customer can buy any item, same item any time during the whole year. Whenever he needs item, he can raise a PO and will give the sales order. But scheduling agreement will get a particular schedule lengths. So when they're making the agreement only, we'll agree with him that on 5th May will pay 100 item and 25th May this item. Like that it will go on. That is scheduling agreement. Okay, this is a process. It's a pre-sale process. It's shipping and the billing. This is a process about SD module. So process flow, so order, delivery, billing, and accounting documents. Okay, in the screen it's taken from the theory app. So standard order. So first is order processing. When the order process, we the delivery processing. We'll issue that to the customer from the warehouse, and with the invoice billing, we'll send the invoice to the customer, and account department will receive the payment from the customer. So this is a regular processing happening in sales model. Order, delivery, billing, accounting, finance model, payment. So SD helps you. The sales and distribution model helps you to handle minor details. So whenever you sell the item, you can follow the order and you can monitor everything from the sales point of view. So here, starting from recording the product. So based on the purchase order given to the customer, we'll record the whole process, details, pricing, feedback, everything is tagged using the model. So in a SD model, we can track everything using the all these options, data, pricing, feedback, everything we monitor in the sales model, SD model. So this is the some of the basic functions. So inquiry and quotes. So basically, we have the inquiry and quotations. We have the inquiry quotation. This process, inquiry quotation process. This is a process. So we got the inquiry quotation, sales order, consignment. So I think you know the consignment. So any idea what is consignment process in SAP SD model? Anybody has an idea what is consignment?
Yeah. Consignment is when we supply to material to our one of the distributor, but we don't bill him directly until unless that is consumed or that is resold.
Yeah. So have you worked on that on consignment? Have you worked on that?
Yeah, basically some processes, basic processes.
Okay. So basically what you explain is the supplier will give the item to the customer premises. So basically the concept is, so for example, the customer needs the item on daily basis. For everyday production, he needs the item. So every time he can give a purchase order, daily give the purchase order, wait for a shipment from the customer, supplier. So instead we'll make a consignment process. In that process, the supplier will keep the item in the customer place. So like for the lump amount, like 10,000 kg, 20,000 kg, for example, grease we are taking, they will keep all the grease in the customer place. So for that, he will not charge. For keeping the item, he will not charge the customer. And customers also will not charge any rental charges. So whenever customer needs item, he'll take from the consignment store, consignment stock. And when the supplier will bill him only for the consignment taken from the consignment store. That's the consignment process. So that can be used for that can be useful for the small time customers also. So they will not be able to buy the lump amount totally from the supplier, but they need the production every day. So in that case, they can go for consignment process. So when they'll keep the item in the customer place, for that we will not charge anything. The water taken from the consignment store, for that only customer will be billed. That's the consignment process. Okay, the consignment process. And so scheduling agreement already told. So it's like a contract, but you have particular schedule lines, scheduling agreements. Rush order and back order. Rush order means like so once you there are two things, rush order and cash order, both are there. So rush order is the item will be delivered immediately. So once you give the customer can get the item immediately from the rush order sales orders. Back order means like pending sales orders. Pending sales orders given waiting for the shipment to the customer. So back orders. These are some of the order types. And credit and debit memo request. If the items are damaged, the customer can ask for the credit memo, or sometimes the supplier has to charge the customer something. There's a debit memo. There are different transactions, credit and debit memos. According to the situation, we can raise credit memo or debit memo. Either customer has to pay the supplier or supplier has to pay the customer for any extra charges or less amounts. So this is order. So this from the screen you can see that. So already know that header. So there'll be header and item level will be there. So this is during the priority system you can check that. So standard order. So we'll get little quantity and which day should be supplied. So number 1 20 pieces, January 1 30 pieces. So this you can go through when you go to the practice you can go through one more time. So it's the sales order processing. So in the customer, in the CRM, so customer service department, from the customer side, so there you can get the call from the customers, or you can take order through phone. So we can, when the customer gives the order, he can give the order by phone or mail or a print output. So he can give the order. So mostly sales order will contain customer material information, price information, and delivery dates, delivery quantities, and about shipping and the billing. So this information will be there in the detail, in the sales order. So already know that. So if you go for the sales document, so already know the timing. So if you go for sales order change. So I think whether I have any sales order. Okay, only is there. So this is a sales order. You can already see that it's a sales order. We have the customer's data, we have the material data. So you get the quantity. So this is a sales order screen. So it will contain the customer material information. You can see that this is a customer's data, it's customer information, and this is the material information. So and you got the price information. So if you go for pricing, you can select this and go for pricing. So the price information. You'll get the details about pricing also here. So sales will contain all these details: customer material information, price information, about delivery dates, delivery quantities. So you can see that. So you can see schedule length. Go for shipping and schedule length. You can see that, and you can again go to item. You can see all the details. Shipping details you can get the schedule and details. So everything get from the so the sales order information. Okay, then the shipping processing and building information building also. So this will take contained in the sales order details. So the material procure. So when your material can be procured. If it's a retailing, you can buy the item from the suppliers through this process. We can directly from the supplier get the items, or from vendor or own production. So you can get the material for selling, get from the vendor or get from the production process. So procurement from the so when you give the sales order, the items are not available. The items are not available for not confirmed. The quantity is not confirmed. Then you can go for the availability check. So you can check the availability of the ordered goods, and if there is any option to change the stores of the material, you can change during the availability check configuration. During the availability check configuration, you can change the transfer the return to the different levels. And so material management. So material management will basically organize the materials, making the material status, keeping the items in the store, part of the material management model. So that can be include the in-house production or purchased products. The items for material management, the materials can be purchased or can be produced from the own production plant. So this is a procurement process happening from the purchase side. So they can include the manufactured item from their own factory, or they can purchase item from the other suppliers. And also you can check the availability of the ordered items. The shipping, so always shipping is after the shipping and the delivery. So once your item is ready for selling, you made a finished good and the customer is already given the sales order. To transportation, there's a separate process. We got the shipping and delivery. So we got to ship correctly the items and deliver to the customer in a seamless way. So there are different methods of shipping is there. So for example, it can be road or it can be sea or air. Anywhere you got to ship the items. And so in the SD model, SAP SD model, the whole process from the ship to the to be delivered to the customer or after return to the customer, everything is monitored in the SD model. The whole process monitored in the SD model through the shipping transportation process. So shipping functions, we can generate shipping documents. The delivery shipping document, basically delivery documents. When you go for that delivery, so this is a delivery process. So once you make the purchase sales order, you go for the delivery. That T code is there. No? You can go for that transportation, shipping and transportation. You can do the transportation from here. You can do the process from here. You can make a delivery document from here and you can process sales process. Okay, then picking and packing. So during the shipping, we'll do the picking and packing also. Picking means, so I already know that. So once the warehouse person picks the item from the store for the selling or the delivery, he'll pick the record the picking activity. He'll record picking like how much item taken, what time of picking, everything can maintain the picking activity. Then packing. After picking, you pack the item and you can manage the inventory management and you can sell to the customer, deliver to the customer. There's a transportation management and the scheduling for the delivery. Delivery scheduling and returns deliveries. You can schedule the delivery as well as returns of the item from the customer through the CST model. And you can do stock transfer during the process. From one location to another location, transfer the stock. Some more things are the transportation. So it works with the shipping model. And the transportation for each model different. So some items will be has to be handled carefully. So you got to assign a separate process for that. So all the transportation related. So it can be truck or sea or air or any type of products like any perishable item. Everything can be handled accordingly using the transportations. So this is a function in the transportation functions. We have this flexible and easy to use component. So it helps you to do the transportation in an effective manner. We have a large information system using that you can easily use the transportation configuration. So it's a EWM. So this now it's called EW. It's a new add-on from SAP in S/4HANA, external warehouse management that can link to the warehouse management, and you can do the same process. The sales order, delivery with the external warehouse EWM. You can do the outbound delivery order and outbound delivery. In the S/4HANA, you can connect with the EWM model and do the delivery process. It's already know that. So once the delivery is given for the sales order, So he has to, the employee has to pick the item, it has to be recorded in the system as picking activity or picking order, pick order. Okay, so delivery order. So there's a where goes, the different where goes, different tasks from the different employees. And then where goes the order, there's a picking order, and the where goes order will be received. So to the different location for the customer. So goods issue. So once you do the outbound delivery, it will issue to the customer. So once you give the send the item to the customer through goods issue, through outbound delivery, and he'll give the approval. He'll give the receipt to the supplier that he received the item. Then we do the billing for the same process. So this is sales goods issue. The outbound delivery. You can see the example of an item, material M1. This is outbound delivery. You have stock requirements. How much stock is there? Validated stock. So validated stock means already where materials are validated and kept in the store. From there, we are sending to the customer. We have some controlling model document, billing due list, and there's a quotation order. So everything is integrated here. So this delivery connected with stock requirements, stock validated stock, controlling documents. It's a part of the controlling model, finance controlling model, controlling documents, and we'll get a billing due list, and the one more thing is quotation order. Quotation order will do the whole process. This is full. It's about the goods issue configuration for SD model. It's a process, shipping process. One is outbound deliveries, picking, packing, posting the goods issue. The same thing. So what you'll do, first once you give the sales order, when it's ready for delivery, the picking employee or the warehouse employee will pick the item, he'll record the picking and confirm, and after we'll pack the item. The package department will pack the item, package section will pack the item, then they will do the transportation planning and post the delivery document. So billing is the billing. If you take billing, is the main part of the SD, critical part of the SD model. So the customers can pay by online media or cash on delivery. According to the new developments, new technology, customer can pay by cash or by any online media, like any card or any method. And so this billing model will monitor the whole process of the billing data. So whole billing will be configured efficiently by the SD model. If you take billing, you can make an automatic invoice or a manual creation. Both options are there. So we have all the billing functions. We have a set of billing functions together in SD model. This is a real-time integration. So you are water pending payment for the customer can integrate to the finance model. So whenever we make a sales delivery to the customer, immediately our finance department will be updated about the process. The sales process will update the finance model so that they can be able to get the money from the customer. So basically, it's a real-time integration with the finance, so that the customer payment can be get by the customer any point after from the finance department. So real-time integration with finance. And if you can have full pricing configuration for the billing purpose. For the price configuration, we can make with the billing model, billing functionality. So again, so we can make the invoice for goods and services also. We can make the invoice for stock. We can make the invoice for stock item or inventory item as well as services. Selling the services like installation or maintenance services called services. That also can be maintained for billing. So as well as for the stock item as well as services. And you can credit with debit modes. Customer has to pay or supplier has to pay through credit or debit modes. And you can cancel the previous billing document. Suppose there's an error or something happened, you can cancel the billing document. And you can automate. So when you make the billing document, automatically data will transfer to accounting departments. So once you come to the billing from the SD model, you automatically transfer to the CSD finance model. There are two billing. So billing, there are two head level, IT level. So you can see that. So that's in the. If you go for VF02, I have already one billing document VF02. So this is a billing. This is a header. This is a header. This item detail. Go to and item condition. You can see the condition. So these are two things: header and item. So first one, this is a header. So this is a header, and we are getting the item details. Header level, item level. The billing will be looking like item, and we can have different items in the header and price for each item. So once you do a billing document, when you complete billing document, these are the effects of the billing documents. So once you make the billing, your account report will be updated about the payment, about the bill. So account department will get the bill. So you can see billing document number, it will go to the account department. We get the influence system, the reporting section, that you can monitor all the sales by the customers. And you can analyze, you can do the profitability analysis, you can analyze the profit of the sales, and you can credit account the customer. So you'll post to the, so we call it reconciliation account. I'll later explain the reconciliation account. So when you make the billing, you'll post to the reconciliation account of the customer, and your sales order delivery also linked with the billing document. So from delivery, you'll do the billing. So the billing will consider the sales order and the delivery documents. Okay, this is the effort of billing documents. Effort of billing document will be, one is the account document generation and reporting and analysis for profitability, and there's an account, amount will post to the customer account, and the can be linked to the sales order and the delivery. So what is happened during the sales during the billing? Two things will happen. One is the debit posting, credit posting. I think already know that. So in accounting there will be debit and credit. In always there will be debit and credit. Debit means, for example, customer, when the customer makes the payment, he will be credited, and for the finance department or the supplier will get debited. So later we'll see in detail this the concept. This is journal entry. So when you make customer will be always in the credit side, and the supplier in the debit side. So there's a lot of explanation for the debit and credit. So basically, these are two things. So customer will debited or credited. So in accounting, that's a main thing. In accounting, it's called JE. Call us JE or journal entry. JE or journal entry. So journal entry will be basically the two things will be. One is credit, another is debit. So that's the entry will look like this one. That's the payment. So once you do the billing, we'll do the payment process. In that we get the paying. You can make the payment again invoices, and you can clear the difference between the different accounts. So after this, sales support. So once you get the sales to the customer, we'll get the sales support through SAP S model. We can get a better sales support to the customer. So you can interact the sales team, and you can check with all the functions. So pricing is another important thing. Pricing is another important in the ST model. So you can make that all the prices, basic price or gross price or sales price or discount, freight charges, taxes, everything can be maintained in the sales and distribution model through pricing configuration. Okay, so we got the conditions, condition types, tables, access sequence, everything can be maintained in price determination. Okay, so this is the introduction to ERP SAP model. So otherwise, we'll meet again tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thanks.
thank you everybody. Bye. Thank you everybody. Bye.
Thanks.
We'll meet again tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.